YouTube, we're going to do a welcome back first off, but we're going to do a vegetable beef soup today. It's cold. Need something that's sort of nice and warm to eat, filling, hearty, and of course we know we have our rain, sleet, snow again today, but actually it's turning over to sleet right now as we speak. But I've got about 2 pounds of stew meat that I've trimmed up and have it salted it, sitting in the refrigerator. I think I'm going to season up a little bit more with Uncle Steve's cow shake, and then I'm going to put it onto the my kettle with a little bit of hickory smoke, just to sort of try to change things up a little bit. So we'll bring it back in here in a minute, and once we get the coals going out there and on the kettle. They're going now, but I just need them to sort of ash over for me a little bit. And we're going to try and sear these little chunks on that kettle, but I've got a little cheap stainless steel sear plate thing that I'm hoping that all that meat will fit on there enough to where I can just get a little bit of sear on it, just sort of kind of pre-cook it before putting it into the pot. So we'll bring you back. Alright YouTube, I think we are back. I've got the kettle sort of going here. I already got maybe a dozen coals in there, and a chunk of what do I got to do? And a chunk of hickory wood right now. I do want to spray this thing down a little bit duck fat. We're just going to get wet in the rain and get these on here and see if I can't get just a little bit of sear onto this meat. Just to sort of kind of add a little bit more flavor to it. I thought about putting it just on the grates themselves, but a lot of this stuff, because I've trimmed it down so much, I'm afraid that it's going to fall through the grate. Then I won't have my stew meat that I need here. So we're going to get this going here on YouTube, and we'll bring you back periodically in and out on things. And like I said, this was already in the refrigerator, salted down. Some of this competition cow powder of Uncle Steve's. That's why I'm in the camera here. I've got it zoomed in pretty well. Pretty tight, rather. Just to add another element of flavor, just sort of make it a little different. So we're going to let this go here a little bit, YouTube. And we'll bring you back here shortly. After things sort of kind of progress for us a little bit more. There's no sense in all of us out here in the cold. Alright YouTube, we're going to bring you in for a little bit here. Stainless steel thing, it was like $6 or $7 reduced at Lowe's, and it's not quite working like I'd like to. I actually have a set of griddle grates for this Weber that I won from Tommy at Christmas time. Tommy of Gallery Backyard Barbecue, and I'm going to plan a cook for him, but this just wasn't the cook. So as you can see, it's painstakingly getting the sear on each and every little piece. That's sort of kind of what I'm visualizing as far as flavor wise. Sort of kind of make this, you know, a backyard cook barbecue. Or beef stew, rather. Vegetable beef stew. So we're going to continue to do this piece by piece, and we will bring you back later. Alright YouTube, all I'm doing right now is just cutting up my potatoes. I've already peeled them. So I'm just going to cut them up to small to medium chunks. These ain't really the ripest of potatoes, but it will work. Alright YouTube, so we are back again. So that was about, the recipe calls for 3 russets, but they were sort of kind of small, and the same with the carrots. You know, they were calling for 3 carrots, but my carrots aren't the biggest, so I am going to actually have 5 carrots that I'm putting in here. And as you can see, all I'm doing is chopping them up. So we will get some more of these cut up, YouTube, and we will bring you back here shortly. Alright YouTube, we are back. We got the pot on. We're just going to put I call that a good tablespoon of olive oil. We're going to let that warm up. And then we're going to start some of our veggies. Alright YouTube, we got that sort of kind of warming up. I'm going to put some of this beef broth in the bottom of this pot, just to give me something so that my vegetables don't burn up on me. We're going to go ahead and start these potatoes and carrots. Hopefully I can get them in there without making a huge mess. A little too much of my cutting board to be able to just scoop them on in. Hopefully you can see inside the pot. I got a little constructive criticism on another YouTube channel, and I respect his thoughts. I guess I never really thought about being able to see inside the pot while things are cooking, which is something I never really thought of. I guess I sort of kind of thought you saw me putting it in the pot and that would be good enough, but what he says makes sense. Alright YouTube, we are back. We had it covered up with potatoes and carrots, gave them about a 30-minute head start. We've got the temperature turned down now, and I'm going to start adding some of my other ingredients here. I've got 1 frozen bag. That is a 12-ounce bag of peas. Another 12-ounce bag of frozen green beans. And a 12-ounce bag of frozen corn that we're going to throw into the pot here. Get this going. Stir. At this time I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the 32-ounce container of beef broth. I did add some more of that Uncle Steve's competition cow shake while the potatoes were going. They're not cooked all the way yet, but they're starting to get soft, and I wanted to just give them a head start. Because they're going to be a lot harder or longer, take longer rather to cook. Okay, so I'm probably going to go ahead. And here I've got one large onion, sweet onion, chopped coarsely, and 3 cloves of garlic. That onion should cook down. If you want to cut it up smaller, cut it up smaller. I like onions, so if I get a crunch of it, I get a crunch of it. Plus, it's going to cook down some, so I wouldn't go too small because then you're not going to taste it at all. Okay, we got that in there. I'm going to add roughly a tablespoon of cayenne pepper. It's probably a little less than a tablespoon. Then there's the recipe called for 2 10-ounce cans of tomato soup. I wanted to use something other than just straight tomato soup, so I've got Progresso's tomato and basil in the pot here. Hopefully you can see it. I'm going to pour 1 whole can in there. That's truly about all it really wants you to put in there. I think it was 22 ounces, and 1 can is 19 ounces. So I'm not going to quite use this whole can, the second can, at this time. And this soup's got a long ways to go. I am going to add a little bit more kosher salt. That's a teaspoon. I'm going to add some more ground pepper. Probably about a teaspoon. Probably only about half a teaspoon. We're going to put in here. We're going to go ahead with a little bit of more Uncle Steve's competition cow shake. Not much because I've already seared the meat in it, and I put some in the potatoes and carrots, so I don't need a whole lot more. But I need more cayenne. Let's say it's about another teaspoon. Give them a stir. Looks like it's really going to be a good hearty soup, which is good. Chunks, big chunks. Alright YouTube, let me get the meat over here and we'll bring you back. Alright YouTube, we're back. So as you can see, it's what's left of my 2 pounds of stew meat that I have smoked with hickory smoke and seared for the most part. Just wanted to add a little different flavor to it. So into the pot it goes. Alright YouTube, so maybe you ought to follow my cooks. usually always have a change of heart. So I have some of this bacon that I smoked last week, and I just pulled about 4 slices into some chunks, and I'm going to stop overthinking this because it just sort of kind of was making some sense, and said, man, I can really think that smoke, some more of that smoked flavor, some saltiness from that ham, and I just think it's going to make a good addition. So there you have it. Alright, you two, we're going to bring it in here for a little bit. We'll let this thing boil for about, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes. Smells really good. Still got a little ways to go yet. Potatoes are soft. Alright, YouTube, it's hours later. I think we are ready. Let me get a spoon to get myself some soup in a bowl. That's not a spoon. That's a spoon. Alright, YouTube, we will bring you right back. Alright, YouTube, so we're ready for the taste. Long enough. Mighty tasty. Of course, once this sits in the refrigerator overnight, it's going to get even better as the days go on. Got a little bit of bite to it. Very light. That beef that was hickory smoked and lightly seared on a Weber kettle adds such an element to it. I've never had anything like that. Not in a soup. That has a little smoke flavor to it. Absolutely excellent. French bread's lightly toasted, buttered. I forgot I'm filming. Sorry, YouTube. Alright, YouTube. That's it. We'll bring it back for a recap. Alright, YouTube. There you have it. My take on vegetable beef soup. We'll go over some of the ingredients in it and procedures that I did, but for the most part everything's listed in the video. I took the stew meat and trimmed it up. After trim, I ended up with about 2 pounds of it, and I smoked it on the pellet, not the pellet, the Weber kettle with hickory wood. I tried to use that little stainless steel sear plate, but that thing just didn't work. I mean, $6 or $7 from Lowe's on a clearance. What do you expect? So it will be thrown away unless I can find some use for because it's stainless steel. So then I ended up actually taking and searing each individual piece for the most part over the coals. Turned out good. And and I seasoned that with the Uncle Steve's competition cow shake is what I use for that. Diced up potatoes, carrots, onion, garlic, a bag of frozen peas, a bag of frozen green beans, a bag of frozen corn. The onion was fresh, and I cut that up, but and I seasoned that also with some more of that competition cow shake from Uncle Steve. About a tablespoon of cayenne overall, I think it was. Lightly toasted French bread, butter. What else? I can't think of anything else, but it's really some kind of good. As you know, most soups, especially homemade stuff, the longer it sits in the refrigerator, the longer the flavors have to sort of kind of blend in with each other. And then I'll take and separate it, freeze some, a couple containers of it for later on this winter, but we'll be using it some here shortly, some more. Really good stuff. I really enjoyed it. My wife is not, she's one of those anti-vegetable people for the most part, so she did taste it. She thought it was very, very good. She actually related it to Brunswick stew. I sort of kind of disagree with that, but I thought it was just a very good vegetable beef. Oh, the other thing I did put in there is that I put in, I think it was 3 or 4 slices of that smoked bacon that I had cured myself, and you couldn't really taste it. I could have put more. I mean, I tasted it if I got a piece within my spoonful, but I didn't taste it in the juice. In other words, that's what I'm saying. The meat, the beef meat being, sort of lightly seared and hickory smoke, you can pick that up. It was something that is very good. A lot of it, I have to go back over the original recipe for the most part, and then watch the video again myself just to sort of add on stuff that I had done to it, just to change it up from everybody else. But beef broth was in there. I'm just trying to think of everything. Salt and pepper, of course, a little bit of olive oil. Just really good stuff. YouTube, I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed the video, and I'm enjoying the soup. Very good. I think that's about it. As usual, if you like it, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. It would be greatly appreciated. YouTube, this is Lance from St. Mary's County, Maryland, Sleeper Barbecue. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.